I get asked from time to time, Ari, what is the difference between a leader and a manager in a business? And hi, my name is Ari Page. I'm the CEO of Fund&Grow. And at Fund&Grow, we have a big staff. We have many managers. We have many leaders within our company. And so I just wanted to touch on the differences between a manager and a leader in business. Managers have people who work for them, and leaders have people who follow them. So one of the ways I like to think of that is a manager is kind of, in many cases, is more kind of like force, whereas a leader is like attraction. So where you're attracting, guiding, and enrolling someone into what it is that you would want. Key responsibilities of a manager: administration, making sure day-to-day operations are happening, maintaining structure. Now, a manager has a very important duty to do because they're keeping production moving forward. But it's important as you manage to use the leadership principles to enroll people into wanting to do what it is that you want them to do that's more productive. Key responsibilities for a leader: getting people on board to follow your vision, encouraging people to work with you to achieve goals, inspiring your team. All of those things will help you be able to manage better, will help you be able to generate more, and generate more specifically for your clients. Now, can you have a leader that isn't a manager, and can you have a manager that isn't a leader? And so a manager is a title, and being a leader is an attitude and a mindset in terms of leading your team. So the best manager is a leader because they're enrolling people into what it is that they need their team to do. But you can have managers that are not leaders and leaders that are not managers. And so that's important to know the difference. So what are some ways a leader could change your business and customer service for the better? A leader is going to engage your staff more. They're going to enroll them in your vision for your company and what you want for your client. They're going to align their perception of the future of the business. So they're going to help your average employee understand the bigger picture, and that's super important. They're going to also get them excited about where they're going, about what they're going to be doing every day, what this employee sitting there, what they're doing every day. They need to be excited about that in order to produce, in order to give your client the warm fuzzies to make them feel happy. They are going to inform your team of journey, milestones, and roadblocks. So the managers are going to be bringing up all the different stats to get them excited. Like, guys, this is the numbers we hit yesterday. This is what we're going to be hitting. This is what we want to hit today. This is our vision for the future, what we're going to hit in the future. And so all of that comes from a leader who's really gonna enroll them into wanting to boost the stats and boost the metrics and to do more. So all of that is going to inspire the team to be all they can be versus a manager forcing and pushing the team into what it is they want them to do for the client. Why is it important to have both managers and leaders on your team? So you need that balance to be successful and grow. But all of your managers should be leaders. They should be able to manage and to keep rock steady and solid while also being able to enroll and lead people into what the management team needs them to do. So there can be a negative impact, though, if you're not in some ways guiding your team into what you need them to do. So you can't be too soft in this, and being a leader doesn't mean it's just all about excitement. And if you don't manage properly, you're going to have chaos. There's not going to be organization, the type of organization you need between the team with cohesion. There's not going to be proper delegation of work. There's not going to be an execution of the ideas that are being brought, which is going to lead to a lack of manifesting the larger vision, and it leads to having no focus overall for the entire team. This is why when you have a leader in place, they need to be able to inspire, but they also need to be able to hold you to task, to be able to get their team members to be able to actually implement the things that need to be implemented. And so there can be a negative impact of having businesses that don't have the leadership aspect, where they're only managing, they're pushing, they're forcing, they're just using kinetic, force against force. And in that type of environment, you have no motivation. Employees do the bare minimum. There's not going to be innovation coming from them because they don't care. And what ends up happening is that your clients end up getting a cookie cutter like experience, rather than a custom, an amazing, a feel-good, warm and fuzzy, I'm happy experience. You end up with a mindless team of robots, workers, rather than people that are inspired, rather than people that really want to push and that they want to do better. They want to do better for each other, for their own team members. They want to do better for the client. They want to do better because they love their families and their communities and their mom and dad. These are people that are excited to do good, and they end up making money doing good for themselves, and they want to do good for others. And so that's the type of team that you want to foster, those types of ideas, while also using execution on the management side of actually pushing people meaningfully in ways where they can, as a team, all pull together. What are some ways you can acquire leadership characteristics? If you have managers and you're wanting them to be more leaders, then what are ways that you can acquire these leadership characteristics? Well, you can send them for education. There's different courses and seminars and all kinds of things that teach how to motivate. And so that's something that you can send your leaders to. They can practice. This is something that you can get together and you can do team meetings, and you can, as an executive, teach your other leaders within the company how to be more impactful with their team members. You can increase communication. Communication is a big key. People need to feel open in order to be able to come to their manager, where if they don't feel open to be able to come to their manager, then you don't really have the cohesion of a team. You're not going to get that feedback. You're not going to get someone who's championing to make a better experience for the client because the manager wants that. They're not even thinking from that perspective. So communication is important. Self-awareness. The manager having self-awareness of how he's pushing out people, or how they're bringing in people, how they're allowing people's opinion to make it to them, or whether they have the walls up and the doors closed and they really don't want to hear from their team. They just want their team to work. Just do it. Just get the work done. And so having a manager, a leader, having an awareness of themselves, how they're impacting their team, is super, super huge. Other characteristics are building relationships with your employees. At Fund&Grow, we do a lot of team building exercises and fun things together, from playing little games in the conference room that are just, small competition, to us having employee appreciation days together where we actually go out somewhere and do something all together, or where we just do team building with smaller groups, people getting together where the company pays for lunch, and just do different things to foster that environment that you're cared for. Another one of the things that we do at Fund&Grow is a pantry program where we provide food and snacks and things that people would want to eat, and it makes them feel more cared for. Just like, if you went home and your pantry was always stocked, it would feel great. So those are things that you can do to build better relationships with your employees. And one way to do that is to also ask them questions. Get feedback from them. Ask them, how can you be better? And so you have to first get past yourself, and then you can say, well, how could I be better as a manager? And then when you're asking that question, that's how you know you're a leader. And then you can find out, where can you be better, and what are you doing that's right that you can expand on and grow on. What are the benefits of having both leadership and management in place? The benefits are where you are going to have super happy employees. You're going to tend to trend on the people feeling more peaceful and more fulfilled. People need fulfillment in their lives, and work tends to be a big part of that fulfillment, regardless of what they're doing. So if you can help them find more meaning in their job and at work, then that'll translate into a happier client. And when that happens and they are able to see that bigger vision playing out, this is what I do in the company, this is what the client's getting, the client's super happy, there's no way that doesn't impact the psyche of that employee in a very, very positive way. So it helps with employee retention, and it even helps with customer retention. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. We've all heard that. And this has happened to me. This has happened to me in the past, where there was a change in leadership at my job, and I ended up completely just quitting that job and walking out. And it was 100% because of that particular leader. Had it been a different person, I wouldn't have quit, I wouldn't have walked out. It wasn't the whole company, it was that leader. And so if employees are happy, so are your clients. And so are, in our case, our affiliate partners. So we want to keep our affiliates happy. We want to make sure that it's easy for advertising and for our marketing, and to keep our testimonials positive. All of that starts with keeping your employees happy. They're the ones doing the work for the customer. You want to keep the customer happy, keep them happy. It increases productivity. This is going to be one of the biggest things you see is people that are happier, they're just moving more and they're just productive and they're happy and the client ends up being happy. And this is something that we had to put to work at Fund&Grow in order to create cohesion between all of our different departments. Because when you have departments that are 15, 20 people big, and these departments start fighting between each other sometimes, fighting for resources and for different things, and they're of course fighting to help make their departments better. And so this idea is not just for employees, but it's also for the higher leadership ideals within a company of getting the different departments to work together. So to recap, if you want to create a team that cares about your customers and business, you have to start at the top. If you have someone in a position of leadership that has a negative mindset, all that's going to trickle down and it's going to affect your entire team. So it's super important that you look at it from the top down, that you look at your top executives, and they are the ones that your team, your subordinates, that they're looking up at these executives and they're really leading the direction of where you're going to go. On the other hand, if you place someone in a leadership position who's motivated, who's inspired, and they believe in the mission, then of course that's what's going to trickle down. And so I challenge you to take the time to look at your current leadership structure, at who you have in place, to even look at yourself and to see what you can do to make your management better. And sometimes this is some of the hardest conversation to have, because some of these people are the most trusted people within your organizations. But then you have to really ask, are they really witnessing and leading people the way that you would want? And this has been a very important topic for us. This has been something where there's been major shifts, tectonic leadership shifts that have been very difficult for us as a company, but we had to do them in order to make our team better. And what we've done is we've continued to grow. But the leadership side, it just makes the difference. It can make the difference between whether we're bringing in $4.5 million a week or whether we're bringing in $6.5 million a week in funding. And that's in the amount of loans for our clients. So we measure our metrics and how many loans we're bringing in. And so, last month we did $26 million in funding, and this is what we do. By the way, if you need funding for your business to grow, call us, contact us, fundandgrow.com. This is something that we're very passionate about, is growing small businesses. Creating leadership within your company is super important for any business to really be able to lead their employees towards more production, towards higher production, towards more value. And so that's what we're all about at Fund&Grow. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate you watching our videos, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the video, and thanks again for watching.